Hello and welcome to another edition of Exploring with IUX. Where is it? Yep, sorry, my finger's disappearing. Yes, it is another webinar with IUX, and today we are talking about the value of a BTEC education. And what is BTEC? Well, to answer all of that and a lot more, we have a special guest in the form of Waqar Shah, who is the Deputy General Manager, Pakistan, of Pearson Education. Pearson Education is a British-owned education publishing and assessment service to schools and corporations, as well as for students directly. He's played a significant role in establishing and promoting UK-based education here in Pakistan. Firstly, as a business head for workforce skills, and English language learning, but he's also had over 20 years of work experience in international education. He previously held positions at British Council Pakistan, and he's been with Pearson since 2010. And he holds a wide range of experience in developing country-level business and developing strategies. And he's worked as team lead and team player at establishing these sort of external linkages between education organizations across the world. And Waqar Saab holds a Master's of MBA. I can't be bothered to read a Master's of Business Administration, MBA in Finance, as well as an MPhil in Project Management. So without further ado, it is my great pleasure to welcome and bring into the discussion Waqar Shah. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for such a nice introduction.
Well, what an accomplishment. And well, you are one of the, I think, sort of the unsung heroes really of Pakistan, is that you are these people that sort of make sure these qualifications are available to thousands and thousands of students. And I'm sure the human capital of Pakistan has benefited greatly from your work over the years. So salam and thank you for that.
Thank you.
So Waqar Saab, we're talking today about the value of a BTEC education. And I suppose the first and natural question is, BTEC kya hai?
Okay. You know what? There were two technical education councils in UK in 1973 and 1974. A Technician Education Council, which was formed in 1973, and there was a Business Education Council, which was formed in 1974. And later on, they came to know that their most of work was overlapping, so they merged both of them together. And in 1986, they formed BTEC, Business and Technical Education Council. So what BTECs are exactly? BTECs are high quality, hands-on qualifications grounded in the real world of work. BTECs are all about learning by doing. And that means that BTEC students put whatever they learn into practice straight away. Throughout the course, they work on a series of assignments set in real life scenarios, developing the practical and skills employer and universities are looking for. So the best element of the BTEC qualifications is that they put together or bring together the element of the theory and the element of the practice in such a way that it prepares you really well for the world of work. So overall, these are skill-based qualifications, which are at different levels. And half of the work is done practically. Whatever they learn, they practically go and apply.
So perhaps if anyone is watching this or listening to this, it might be something that they're interested in, who perhaps they realize that they struggle with formal education, and especially how it's perhaps carried out in Pakistan, where you have a teacher, Saab or Saiba, at the front of the class.
Yeah.
And talking away,
right.
and they're falling asleep, whereas they actually do learn, but they learn by doing rather than listening passively. And this
exactly.
is perhaps, so is this a qualification for them, for those kind of people who learn from active
Definitely. I
participate?
mean, for those as well, and for the others as well, because these impart the employability skills in the students. I mean, they train them in such a way that they are ready to work as soon as they get the job or go into the job market. I mean, from the day one, they work as a professional. They don't work as an intern. So, and the traditional way of learning or teaching is like, you have to sit for a 3 hours exam after a year or maybe after a semester, and then your performance is measured on the basis of that. But here your performance is measured on daily basis. You have to go into the market, do the research work, come back, submit your assignment. If there are any problems with that, you have to get the help of your teacher. How should I go about it? So it's more entertaining and interesting for both the teacher and the student. So for a teacher, it is more like a mentoring kind of a thing rather than traditional teaching. So it is exciting for both the parties.
And can you earn whilst you learn with a BTEC?
It depends. I mean, which qualification you are doing, and I mean, what is your current role? Are you a professional and carrying out an additional degree, and you want to do BTECs, because BTECs are very good qualifications for progression within the company if you are already hired. So if you are an employed person and you want to further strengthen your educational background, then you can definitely go for BTEC qualifications. And if you are not, a working man or woman, even then you can go and take these qualifications as a full-time qualifications.
So let's just talk about what type of BTEC qualifications are there. I mean, we've talked very broadly about BTEC now, but can you
Yeah.
tell us the tangible, qualifications that are?
We have like more than 40 qualifications available at higher nationals I'm talking about. Otherwise, we have a huge, combination of qualifications which are available from level 1 till 7, because there are different levels which maybe we can discuss later on. But for the higher nationals, we have more than 40 qualifications which are available. And you can name these qualifications like business, art and design, travel and tourism, computing, and cloud computing as well, the all the engineering related disciplines we have. So we have a huge range of qualifications which are suitable to different audience, and it will help them to progress in their educational and professional careers.
And are all of these available here in Pakistan?
Yeah, there is a limitation set by the regulator, Higher Education Commission, and IBCC. We have got the approval from IBCC, because for those who don't know about the IBCC and HEC, IBCC is the regulator of education till A levels or intermediate, and Higher Education Commission is the regulator of qualification for the degree programs and doctorate and postdoc. So they have given us approval in the humanities group. So we are currently offering business, art and design, and anything which is in the humanities group. But we do have in our portfolio of qualifications, engineering related qualifications and nursing related qualifications, which, we have not got approval so far, which is in the process. But, sometimes it is very difficult to make them understand that the assessment criteria which we are using is the assignment based or the portfolio based is equally good as they are following the traditional exam based assessment, where you have to
Yeah.
put your students in a controlled environment for some time and then assess them their entire years or entire semester's performance on the basis of only those 2 or 3 hours. So I mean, here you are giving more chance to the students so that they can adjust, they can further polish themselves, and they can get good grades.
So who do you find benefits from a BTEC qualification? Who's your typical student?
Typical
I mean,
students,
we
I mean,
mentioned the person that, sorry, yeah,
yeah.
sorry, there's a slight lag, I think. We mentioned the person who likes to be more hands-on, but is there anyone else that is a benefit from a
Yeah.
BTEC?
So if you categorize it, because we in Pakistan we are promoting level 3 and level 4 and 5, like national diplomas and higher nationals. because we have got approval from the regulators in these two, diplomas. Otherwise, we have level 1 to level 7 qualifications, which our different centers are offering, but with this, they are offering the shorter versions, and the students are not looking for the equivalence so that they can progress locally into the education system. So for the level 3 students, the students who can get benefit from is like those who have done metric or O levels, and they want to go into those studies where they can learn and study at the same time, and they can be employable in the future. So they are the most appropriate target segment for the level 3 students I'm talking about. Similarly, for the higher nationals, because this is, higher nationals are equivalent to the first 2 years of the degree in Pakistan and all over the world as well. So for the higher nationals, those who have done their A levels or intermediate or equivalent, they are the most suitable students who can go and get benefit from these qualifications, because these are international qualifications which are available locally. And if you look at the international qualifications which are locally available, we have A levels like IGCSEs and A levels from both Cambridge and Edexcel. But at the same time, if you're looking for the international qualifications in Pakistan, there are hardly any. You can name on your fingertips. And higher national diplomas are one of the best qualifications which you can say, because every year we have more than 1 million students studying, registering for the BTEC qualifications all over the world. So it has global recognition. Yeah, it has global recognition and global acceptance as well. 90% of the students who are doing their BTECs, they are full-time graduates once they're done with their studies. So
they are comparable depending on the levels, as
yes,
you mentioned, with O levels, A levels, degrees, the BTEC qualification.
Yeah,
And
these
so
are.
so presumably it's conceivable, and is it possible that if I was to do, let's say, a BTEC level 4 and 5 in a particular subject here in Pakistan, I could then do the final year of let's say in business, I could do the final year in the UK and qualify with a degree.
Of course. There are two different scenarios. You can complete your degree within Pakistan as well, and if you want to go abroad, you can complete your degree not only in UK but in rest of the world as well. It is not only limited to UK. You can go to Australia as well, to Canada as well, to other countries where so universities are
I'm
available.
saying, but what the value is that you could end up with a degree qualification, but having done a lot of the practical work, or the first 2 years of that degree with a BTEC at considerably less cost, let's be honest, than than doing a 3-year degree in the UK or in Australia or in Canada.
Exactly. You see, if you look at the statistics, every fourth student in the UK universities is with the BTEC background. So 25% of the students going to UK doing their bachelor program over there, they are with the BTEC background, because these are affordable qualifications. You can spend less, you can stay within your country, within you can enjoy the luxury of staying at home, and so you can complete your first 2 years over here, and then you can go abroad. You can go to UK. All the universities over there, they are accepting it as like 2+1 model. Like 2 years you will be spending here, and then 1 year you will be doing your final year from there, and you will be getting a complete bachelor's degree from there.
Brilliant. That's excellent. So what are the entry requirements for joining BTEC?
So as we have already discussed, the entry requirements would be like for the level 3, it will be like metric or IGCSEs or O levels. And for the higher nationals, it will be like A levels or the equivalent or the intermediate. So these are the entry requirements. There are no age barriers in it. Like you can start doing higher nationals or level threes anytime when you think these are suitable for you. In case if you are a working person and you are in a profession, if you are already a student and you are going on track right now in your studies, then you can simply follow these qualifications after doing your IGCSEs or O levels or metric, or maybe after doing your A levels or intermediate.
Okay, well, let's get at some questions right now. We've got some questions coming in.
Mhm.
This one is from Sarah Hanif. In terms of financial security, do we have a good scope of BTEC education?
Definitely. If you look into the context of the employability, that once you are done with your
Yeah,
studies,
I think
and
that's what she's
and
referring to. Yeah.
yeah, this is what, because, and once you are done with your studies, and you can, you have three options. Once you're done with your studies, you can straight go into the job market. You can start doing your own work. You can, if I give you an example, there are a few sectors which are so much highly in demand. If I give you the example of art and design, students are in their final semesters and they get their jobs because there is so much supply and demand gap. So you can trust on
Right.
BTECs not only in Pakistan. Everywhere you go, you will get some. As of, I have already shared with you, 90% of the students, they get full time employment, and they earn 5% higher than the other students. I mean, this is what we have also researched and find it out. So whosoever is doing BTEC, they earn more than others. One thing, and they secure job or they start their own business much more professionally than others.
Why is that?
It's because during the studies you go into the market, you work with in the real life scenarios, so you are aware of the market. So when you enter into the job market and you are working as an employee, you since have been doing all this stuff for the past 2 years when you were doing your higher nationals, so you are used to of it. So it is something very normal for you to perform in that professional competitive environment, rather than as compared to another traditionally studied a student who
Yeah.
has gone through that system of like doing BBA and MBA and then going as an intern and then finding their suitable place.
So do you think that essentially those who do a BTEC versus perhaps traditional degrees, they're slightly more mature? Would you say
Yeah.
that there's because they've had to experience the working environment at an earlier age?
Yeah, because these studies develop cognitive skills and problem solving skills, interpersonal skills and interpersonal skills. So the students are working more independently with more authority. Their confidence are built up since they have gone through that the environment as well. So it is very much easier for them to perform good when they are into the actual environment, because this is what they've been experiencing for the past 2 years when they were studying.
That's excellent. So we have another one from Sarah actually. So I think she's really worried about getting value from a BTEC, because she's asking, do employers here in Pakistan value individuals having BTEC qualification?
You know what? I started with the introduction of two. I mean, before answering this question, there is a problem with this question, so I have to address that first, because this misconception of BTEC, like Bachelor of Technology or Business and Technology Education Council. So she has written BTEC, like that is Bachelor of Technology. This is not what
Yeah,
we are offering. We are BTEC, BTEC. So
yeah,
employer recognition, we are working on that. We are, in contact with the Lahore Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Rawalpindi Chamber of Commerce and Industries. We are building that bridge uh, between us and the different Chamber of Commerce and Industries. If you talk about internationally, we have very good recognition. All the leading brands like Marriott and BMW and all the Shell, and I mean, you name it, and we have recognition from those employers. This is what we are in the process of extending locally as well. So I have never come across any of the student who has find it difficult to get job after doing, their BTECs, because I am looking after BTECs since 2013. It's been like 7, 8 years now. No. In fact, 9 years.
Great.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, that is a yes, they do value it, so that's good.
Yeah.
Um, Kazi, let's move on from Sarah. Kazi
Mm.
Hadi says, "Can I get into a good university if I get a BTEC qualification?"
Yeah.
Well, I think
I
we've
mean,
sort of
yeah, please.
no, you go ahead. Sorry,
Because
I think we've
good
answered that,
university,
haven't we?
you have to define good university locally or internationally. I mean, if you are talking about Pakistan, yes, you can. If you are talking about globally, yes, you can. But again, it depends. Like, passing a bachelor degree with barely passing marks and passing a bachelor degree with a distinction will definitely matter for getting admission in good university. So definitely you can get admission in good university, because if we talk, I mean, there are two scenarios, so I'll be discussing both scenarios, locally and internationally as well. So once you are done with your bachelor with your BTEC higher nationals in Pakistan, you get equivalence from the Higher Education Commission of Pakistan, and then you can go and get admission in any university which is offering 2+2 model. And if you are going abroad, you can simply take your BTEC, and it all depends how many distinctions and merits you have achieved during your studies. So if you are academically good, definitely you can get good admission in good universities. If you are not academically good, so if you are a student like me, I mean, barely passing the subjects, then it will be difficult.
Waqar Saab, I think you're being very, very modest there. I think you're someone with two master's degrees. I think you're very academically good by the sounds of it. Right. Arib has written saying, "Do universities accept BTEC?" Well, yes, we've established that. But what is the passing criteria for it? And if you fail, do you get another attempt?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have to split this into two parts. I mean, one is about getting admission in the universities and their passing criteria. Passing criteria is always the merit list which is set by the universities. So you cannot exactly tell that what will be the merit this time, because all the top in the merit list, they get the admission. So if you are academically good, you can get admission, that is for sure. So there's no need to worry about it, because our marking criteria is like pass, merit, or distinction. So if you are holding good number of distinctions in your course, so it gives you good chances that you will get admission. And if you fail, you get another attempt. I think it is about when you are studying BTEC, and if you get failed, then it is talking about that. So the chances of failing while you are studying BTEC qualifications are minimum, because you are getting your feedback on the almost daily basis or weekly basis. So you are adjusting yourself accordingly. It's not like that you have to sit for your exam once your semester is about to finish, and then you come to know that you were not able to perform well and
Yeah.
you failed it. But here, I mean, our success rate is 100%, and just because
So
of the
that's
yeah.
amazing,
So
100%. And do you think that's because it sort of almost forces students, because they have to do it day in, day out, to study
exactly,
and practice?
exactly. Because the qualification is divided into two different types of hours. One is TQT, that is total qualification time. One is GL, like guided learning hours. So guided learning hours are covered in the classroom, while the total qualification time means that you have to go out in the market, you have to do research, you have to bring some data from there, then you have to submit your assignments, then you have to work at home as well. So that is total qualification time. So you are doing so much work that it will be very difficult for you. I mean, you can still fail it in case if you don't submit your assignments, otherwise there's no chance.
Great. Rahel's got a really good question. Is it suitable for someone who wants to start his or her own business?
Exactly. I mean, these qualifications, especially if you talk about the business, we have small business and enterprise as well. I mean, within the content we are covering. So we are more focusing or promoting entrepreneurship rather than going for the job market. We are developing those skills which are required by the employers, or we are developing those academic skills as well, which are required by the universities. Because if uh, let me share one more thing about BTECs is, while when you are doing your higher nationals, the research work is of the MPhil level which you are doing. It's not even the master's level. It's not even the bachelor level. It is equivalent to the MPhil level. And once you, when George, when you will start this with these BTECs at your campus, then you will come to know that how rigorous these qualifications are. So if you are planning to start your own business, this is the qualification. This is the most appropriate qualification for you.
Because as you say, it's grounded in reality. It's grounded in practical elements. It's not some
Exactly.
airy-fairy technical view. Nothing wrong with airy-fairy, by the way. I thought, or to my more esteemed academic colleagues. So Asad has a question. I want to expand my career in travel and tourism. Will the qualification help me with my choice of career?
Well, we have this travel and tourism as a qualification available at the higher nationals and at level 3 as well. And if you want to join, we have few centers which are already approved to deliver this qualification. So definitely it can help you. I mean, it all depends, because our previous prime minister, he was more fond of promoting the tourism in Pakistan. So there's so much scope in it, because we are lacking behind in hospitality management, because we don't have, I mean, there's a huge gap between the people, the skilled staff which is required by the hotel industry, and similarly there's a huge gap in the travel and tourism as well.
And have you seen a huge sort of demand for those services in the last few years?
Yes, of course, because there are certain local qualifications which are of the shorter version. I mean, at the moment, some of the centers, they are preferring those, but we have few centers, because our centers are more focused on the BBA kind of thing, or I mean, they are more focused on business, art and design, computing, creative media production. So these are the top selling products which we have right now as qualification in Pakistan, apart from the engineering, because engineering, we have that limitation. Otherwise it would have been the best qualification which we had in Pakistan.
But you anticipate that will be coming?
Definitely.
Great. So let's talk a little bit about Pearson and why a Pearson BTEC. Is Pearson the only people offering BTEC, or are there other companies
There are few
as well?
others, but those are not comparable to the scope or the level of the structure of the Pearson. Because if you talk about Pearson is the world's leading learning company. It has a simple mission to help people make more of their lives through learning. So it is the UK's largest awarding body, regulated by Ofqual, and we have more than 24,000 employees working all over the world. We
Wow,
have more than 5 million students studying different qualifications each year. More than 5
5
million
million.
students. Yes, we are the UK's largest, awarding body, which is regulated by the Ofqual. I mean, we are regulated as well from the country of
So
origin.
are you larger than Cambridge and all of that?
Yes,
Wow.
because
And
we are into every field of education. You name it, and we have that. Not only the services, online, blended learning, whatever you think of, and we have that.
and where are your and so how long have you been in Pakistan for?
It's been like 2 decades right now, and our office is in Lahore. Currently, we have 5 different verticals or 5 departments which are working in Pakistan. Apart from BTECs, we have EdExcel department. These are the academic qualifications from pre-nursery till A levels. We have pre-nursery curriculum. Then we have international primary curriculum. Then we have international lower secondary. Then we have IGCSEs. Then we have A levels as well. So this is the scope which is covered by the edXL qualifications. Then we have K-12 department, which is the resources department. In fact, from kindergarten till A levels, we have both printed resource material with best content, and we have the digital one as well. Then we have this higher education resources. Almost in every university in Pakistan, our books are being used as either recommended textbooks, or books are available in the library for the reference. And we have both at higher education, we have both printed material as well, and the online digital stuff as well. And apart from these three departments, we have a Pearson test of English academic, which is an English proficiency test. It's a computer-based English proficiency test, in fact, which is marked by the artificial intelligence. And in case if you are planning to go abroad for further studies or for immigration purposes, instead of any other available test, you can sit for the PT academic, because you can register yourself a day earlier than the exam. You sit and complete your test within the 2 hours in one sitting, instead of coming to the exam center twice for your speaking exam. We have all the four skills assessed in one go, and you get your results. I mean, we advertise it like 2 to 5 business days, but mostly students are 90% of the students are getting their results within the same day, because we are marking it through artificial intelligence, not humanly. So that is the fourth department. And the fifth one is these workforce skills. This is BTEC is part of that. So BTEC qualifications we have from level 3. In fact, we have in Pakistan from level 2 to 7 we are offering. But since we have got the approval for level 3 and 4 and 5, so that's why we are promoting more these. And the sixth department which we have is the Pearson View. In fact, they are the testing arm. And even I can't recall the names. I mean, the number of tests which they're conducting are in hundreds, and they are, since not working directly with us, because they are testing arm. So please go ahead.
So we can establish that Pearson is not a fly-by-night operation. It's a well-established operation.
Very well established.
Anyone who's wanting to do a BTEC can be thoroughly assured by the quality and the effectiveness of the organization.
Exactly. And if you talk about the history of Pearson, it goes back to 1836, 186-year-old organization, Pearson is.
Goodness. And in terms of just the market, where you mentioned, I think you said 5 million exams, or was that BTEC, or was that total exams?
No. For BTECs, we have like more than 1 million students are registering for BTECs annually.
1 million. And where are they sort of geographically placed? Are you seeing a growth here in the subcontinent, in India and Pakistan?
In 60 countries, BTECs are being delivered right now. 60.
Wow. Goodness.
And here in Asia, if you talk about, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal, these are the countries where we are having BTEC qualifications.
So the entire subcontinent?
Entire subcontinent.
Great. Okay. And then let's just talk a little bit about, so what do you think you see as some of the sort of challenges and opportunities for higher education in Pakistan going forward in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, this is a good question, and there's a long list of challenges and opportunities in the higher education sector. If you talk particularly about Pakistan, it is a very long list. But I think I would focus more on the gap between the academia and the industry, because the courses are not aligned with the current market needs, and especially if you talk about the future jobs and the relevance of the courses with the future jobs. So that is not there, and the skilled youth is not there once you complete your degree and once you are out in the market. it's very difficult for you. I mean, you can get your job, but performing well in the job is another thing. And if you particularly talk about the scenario in Pakistan, this online and blended learning, I mean, this is, I mean, the world is now moving towards that. So I mean, we are still behind it. And if we talk about the relevance, I mean, in the beginning I was talking to you about this in the beginning of this question. BTECs are developed in such a way that we are keeping all these things in mind, because BTECs are developed in consultation with the industry, in consultation with the higher education institutions, and in consultation with the professional bodies. So once a BTEC student is going into the market, the industry, I mean, they are fulfilling the needs of the industry. If they are going to the university, because we know what university is asking for, they perform well over there as well. And the professional bodies, we are already linked with them, so that we incorporate their feedback as well. So
So
if we,
he or she would be very work ready, because
exactly
what is being taught is up to date, relevant.
is up to date,
material.
because we are regulated by Ofqual. We have to review our curriculum and refresh it after every 5 years. We have to align with the future needs as well. If I give you the example, because when I started looking after BTECs in Pakistan, and everybody was asking that why don't we have the telecom engineering or telecom related qualifications in BTECs, because at that time telecom was the industry which was booming up. And at that time we were not having this telecom thing alone, but it was available in computing. Later on everything was merged into computing. So we are ahead of what is being done locally if you compare it in Pakistan. So if a student is doing BTECs, that is going to last longer than if they are going to have the traditional degrees from Pakistan or maybe somewhere else as well.
That's fascinating. That's fascinating. And how does the sort of cost of a BTEC qualification compare to a traditional degree? I mean,
it's very affordable. I mean, it varies from center to center, because there are two different types of costs. One is the board fee, the fee which the students have to pay to us. It is very minimum cost, like you can do your higher nationals in £300, but you have to pay the
so £300. That's what's
is the registration fee.
That's 60,000 rupees. No,
kind of multiplied it by 232, because every day the rate is rate is changing, so it's very difficult to say something in Pak rupees. But exact fee at the moment is £278 for the higher national, and £211 for the level 3 students, and it is for the entire program. And this entire program stays there for 5 years. Your registration is valid for 5 years, so you can complete at your own desired pace, in case if you want to complete it more and want to take more than 2 years to complete it.
Okay, great. Well, let's see if there's any more questions. Have we got any more questions? So this is just saying, why technical and vocational education? So yeah.
You please go ahead first, and then I'll let you know. I mean, it depends. I mean,
well,
we have all the.
I suppose why the focus on just technical and vocational? What is it that sets it apart from a degree?
Yeah, what's technical and vocational? Sometimes when you think about the technical and vocational in the Pakistani context, you are thinking of a carpenter or painter, or I mean, kind of those. Yeah. So I mean, here technical and vocational. I mean, again, let me give you another feature of BTEC. is like, even if you are on the technical side of, or the vocational side of qualification, when you are doing your BTEC degrees, you can switch over to academic route anytime without any problem, not only in Pakistan, anywhere in the world. So no other technical or vocational degree apart from BTEC qualifications is giving that option to you. I mean, you cannot move into the
So,
academic side.
so, so just to reiterate, you can do 2 years of BTEC and then change and switch and do your third year in the Bachelor's of Science and then end up with a Bachelor's of Science degree, saving yourself time and money.
Exactly.
Great. And you can do that not just in Pakistan, but also you can do 2 years of BTEC here in Pakistan, then 1 year in the US or Australia or the UK or Canada or wherever.
Exactly.
Fantastic. That's a remarkable. And you say BTEC is the only vocational and technical training qualification that can allow that.
Yeah, I mean, this, switching over between the academic and the technical route. I mean, this is the only. Otherwise, there are a few others, but those are not that big as the Pearson, compared to it.
So I think we've covered a lot of ground today. Thank you so much, Waqar Shah. And so this has really been an introduction to BTEC. So for anyone watching, obviously Pearson is the market leader and provider of these wonderful qualifications. And it, by the sounds of it, it is just, what actually we need in this world of practical, vocational, real life qualifications. And I just sort of wonder whether do you ever sort of see like a 21-year-old who's graduated from university and a 21-year-old who's graduated from or qualified with a BTEC, and can you sort of tell them apart by how they carry themselves, their maturity, their confidence?
Definitely. You will see a clear difference in both of the students who are graduating up. And this is the feedback which we have been receiving from the BTEC centers as well. Those who are going to UK to complete their degrees, they are performing much better than the other, their class fellows. So this is the feedback from the universities to our centers, which was given to me. So it's not something which I'm, just saying for the sake of saying. It's a true, genuine feedback which I received from the centers. So they are definitely much better than the others.
Well, there you go. So this has been awesome. This has been a really enlightening and illuminating, Waqar Shah. Thank you so very much for taking the time, and look forward to engaging more with Pearson and the BTEC in future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me on this webinar, and definitely I also look forward to have more of it. This is the first one, and then we can go into the details of different qualifications as well, which we have. So thank you so much.
Great. So that was our discussion on the value of a BTEC education. And if you would like to know more about it, we'll be sending some information in the links below. But until next time and our next webinar, Kuda Hafiz. Take care.